Hey everybody, John and Lance from the Morning Show on ESPN 97.5. We call it The Bench. Let's talk some Astros baseball. This slow start, Lance. More to blame, hitters or pitchers?
I mean, it's a team sport. So I think they've both been to blame. I think the pitchers have been very up and down, but that's maybe to be expected with a younger staff, or with a younger staff, I mean a nothing staff, a bunch of people we didn't even know their names. The hitters have been more disappointing, though. I mean, there's just no way around it. And that's not unusual for some of these players. There are players like Alex Bregman, sometimes Springer, who are used to getting off to slow starts. The difference is, I mean, this is 60 games. It's not 162. So everything is magnified, and that's what we're experiencing right now. And I think they both have, I think they both have to bear the blame for where the season is right now, because even though the hitters were expected to do more, the pitching staff has blown some games as well and turned wins into losses.
Yeah, well, I'm going full bore hitters. I mean, you lost Verlander. You haven't had Urquidy. You've lost Osuna. You haven't had Joe Smith. You've lost Davinsky. All of your guys that you expected on the pitching staff just haven't been there. So I don't have any expectations for this pitching staff. And if you want to know the truth, it's exceeded my expectations when you see guys like Bielak, and you see Paredes, and you see Taylor, and you see all of these guys that are pitching pretty damn well. Even McCullers, he had one inning that really blew it for him. Other than that, he's been really, really good. I have no expectations for this pitching staff. I've had huge expectations for these hitters. I know you don't have Jordan, but you have a good enough lineup, and it's still, even without Jordan, it's one of the best lineups in baseball, and quite frankly, it has sucked. You have lost one run game. You scored one run, two runs here. We said it before the season started. You said it. You're the one, hey, we got to win 8 to 7 games here. Well, they're not doing that. They're just not. When you go into Oakland in 2 games, you score a total of 3 runs, you can't have that, especially against a team that you go in and you're fighting for the division against, and you just laid an egg offensively all weekend long. That, to me, this is all on that offense, and they just got to pick it up.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but I think one thing I would caution is it's less likely that it stays like this for it's more likely the offense turns it around. We're a little more than a quarter of the season through. It's more likely that these guys start hitting than it is that particular group of pitchers, starting and otherwise, becomes significant factors. So at some point, yeah, you're not winning the high-scoring games like you need to, and because of that, you find yourself with a losing record right now. I do believe, and my guess is you do too, that by the 75% of the season mark, by the time we get to, let's say, 40 games, you're going to see a much different Astros lineup in terms of the way that they're hitting the baseball. I think they'll turn it around.
I do too, but they should. That's the whole thing.
Right.
They should. Springer shouldn't be hitting the way he's hitting. Altuve shouldn't be hitting the way he's hitting. Bregman shouldn't be hitting the way he's hitting. I mean, this is ridiculous. And so, yeah, they've gotten off to slow starts before, but not all together. I mean, Altuve. Now, how much do you think the scandal is in his head and maybe some of the other guys' heads that they're pressing?
100%. I mean, it's got to be. Look at Altuve. Just doesn't. I mean, he took one in. Depending on when you're watching this, he took one in Monday night's game. That was, he didn't take it. He cutted it, and I mean, it was like an 88 mile per hour. Just not a great. I don't even know if it was a change or just kind of a soft slider that didn't really turn over, and he hacked and missed. Like, it was one that any other year, Jose Altuve, and look, he'll swing and miss plenty, but if you miss with a pitch in that spot, Jose Altuve is usually going to ruin you, and that's just not happening right now. And I think it's got to be because he's so desperate to show everybody that he was not a cheater and he's just a great hitter, and now he's in his own head. I mean, it's hard to. I have a hard time believing any Astro fan thinks that that's not the case.
The way he goes about it, how active he is at the plate, he's moving all over the place. He's a wild swinger. He always has been. That he has been the hitter that he has been amazing. I don't know if this wasn't inevitable that he'd have an extended slump because, and we've seen him over series in the postseason. He wasn't that great in the World Series. There's been plenty of series when he has not been all that great. I think that sometimes, if you want to know the truth, I don't know that Jose Altuve would even be in the top 3 that I want up in a clutch situation, because he puts a hell of now. He's unbelievable. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best hitters he has been one of the best hitters in the game, but he also has lulls, and he has in big situations. Jose Altuve has not been a great hitter, and now with this pressing issue of trying to press to show everybody, it's gotten even worse than it's ever been.
Year in, year out, that's a great hitter. There's just no getting around. Jose Altuve is a productive, high-end hitter. I remember that you were the one when Jose Altuve was hitting poorly last year, and you're the one who said he'll be up over 300. He'll be up over 300.
And it took him less than a month to do that.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We might need to slow our roll on this. Now, here's the difference. This is a 60-game season. Odds are, if you get yourself in a little bit of a hole, the numbers, the batting average, the OPS, there's not enough time for it to come around. But my point is, that same Jose Altuve who overcame it last year and did it in a month, the same thing could happen again this year.
And Bregman's always a slow starter, so we can understand that.
Yeah.
But Springer is a bit of a worry, and that he's got a wrist injury that could linger, because you use your wrists a lot in baseball. So I see them certainly coming out of this, breaking out of this, and all of them having we could see the merry-go-round, the circle, you keep going, the circus going, but it may not. It may take a little while. It may still take a little while, especially with Springer's wrist injury.